Welcome back, True Seeker. Let me start out by saying shout out to my friend Austin in Seattle who comes out and pounds pavement with me. It's been almost a year since I've been out there, so I'm going to have to get back. I'm going to have to look into how long this exhibit's going on at the Museum of Pop in Seattle. Apparently, they have a tribute to Nirvana and Kurt Cobain right now, which is what gives us CNN's story today. The death of Nirvana's frontman is raw for many. A photo showing the word unalived stirred fresh emotion. Well, the word unalived was no accident for starters. Notice the overlap with Nirvana and unalived. Running the alphabetic order forwards, they both equal 34. Like murder and suicide. And running it in reverse, they both equal 47. And suicide equals 47 in reverse as well. Murder does not, but just so you can see this, I'll type it in right now. Suicide, that's what they say, got Kurt Cobain. But we know that's not what really happened. Again, he died in 94. We call Seattle the 94 city because in gematria, Seattle, Washington equals 94. He died 94 days after Bill and Melinda got married, and that was the same year Bill Gates became a celebrity. Keep in mind, he also died 206 days before Bill Gates' October 28th birthday. And, of course, Seattle's the 206 area code, and the word sacrifice equals 206. And, of course, there's 206 bones in the adult human body. It's a special number. Of course, 47 is a special number as well, especially to Seattle because it's on the 47th parallel north. The word rock equals 47, like the word radio. A lot of your favorite rock bands of all time have that 47 gematria. I almost called them Rock Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin and beyond. But again, just about the 94 piece. Bill and Melinda married on the first day of 94, New Year's Day. 94 days later, Cobain's dead. June of that year, his mom's dead. Bill Gates' mom, that is. Fast forward to 2020, the year of the Cooties, which was a whole bunch of 94s. But his father ended up dying at 94, and a decade before the Cooties, Bill Gates had declared a decade of vaccines on the 94th day of his age in 94 land, Davos, Switzerland, which equals 94, just like Seattle, Washington. Anyway, you go back and listen to the songs or the lyrics for Teen Spirit. Listen to the lyrics for Teen Spirit and think about what went on in the time of the scandemic. And don't forget, Bill Gates debuted Mosquito Week that week. A mosquito, a libido. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this article. The death of Nirvana's frontman is raw for many. A photo showing the word unalived stirred fresh emotion. Kurt Cobain's legacy looms large over the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. And by the way, that was founded by Paul Allen, the man who really, made things happen, and then Puppet Bill Gates came in, and let's not forget what they did to Paul Allen. He died one day after Pete Carroll became the winningest coach in Seattle history, which, funny enough, was a big 206 ritual. He did it against the Raiders over in London in Wembley Stadium, which equals 206, exactly 206 weeks after the Seahawks had last played the Raiders, who both used to be in the same division when the Seahawks were in the AFC West. Anyway, RIP to Paul Allen as well. Also got it dirty. Used to have a yacht as long as Lake Union. Anyway, Kurt Cobain's legacy looms large over the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. The late Nirvana frontman, a rock legend and hometown hero, remains a permanent fixture in pop culture for many of his fans, even 30 years after his death by suicide. Cobain's loss is still raw. Don't forget, all you Seahawks fans that go to the rigged games, Seahawks won their only Super Bowl in the 94th NFL season, and then Russell Wilson's grandpa died at 94. Recently, though, some visitors to the museum reported reading something that surprised them. A placard, purportedly on display in one of its exhibits, described the iconic musician's death in the following way. Kurt Cobain unalived himself at 27. Remember, the word ritual is 27. There's that old 27 club. Jimi Hendrix, also from Seattle, a part of it. Also a very numerical death for Jimmy. Unalived is a common term on TikTok, initially used as a way to get around censors on the app when discussing death. But it's since taken on a euphemistic meaning offline, a way to talk about death and especially suicide while attempting to avoid the subject's inherent discomfort. The appearance of unalived in a popular tourist destination, especially in reference to Cobain, stunned some visitors who shared photos of the placard as early as May. I wish I would have known this exhibit was going on. It'd be perfect to show up in front of the pop. If only I still lived in my old apartment. I used to just live a block from there. And keep in mind, this museum's directly across the street from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right next to that big old needle. Remember last year we were out in Pike Place preparing people. We were in front of the stadium, and then we were in Pike Place telling people, hey, for all you guys who bought tickets to the games today, brace yourself for the loss because Matt Stafford's about to get his 94th career road win. Exactly what he did. Start over the fans for the game. Oh, shut up. Oh, that doesn't mean nothing. Oh, ignorance isn't bliss. The appearance of unalived in a popular tourist destination, especially in reference to Cobain, stunned some visitors who shared photos of the placard as early as May. Many argued that using the term disrespected Cobain and his legacy and was used to avoid having to discuss suicide directly. Some users who found the image went viral on X earlier this month even compared it to newspeak, the simplistic, euphemistic language used in George Orwell's dystopian classic 1984. Remember, that book has so many things that are so true about today, including a world where people are ruled over by screens and they're constantly lied to and manipulated. I would bet my house that Kurt Cobain didn't commit suicide. The Museum of Pop Culture and its curators haven't responded to CNN's request for comment. Another user posted a photo of another sign they said was near the placard, which explained that the exhibit's guest curator chose to use the unalived as a gesture of respect towards those who have tragically lost their lives due to mental health struggles. Adam Aklisik, a linguist who studies the way young people speak online and posts on TikTok as the etymology nerd, said he isn't surprised to see unalived appear in a museum. What do we have to take to get in a CNN article? How about a little CNN decode or a little cover story of us, all that we've been exposing? I mean, we were the ones out in Seattle March 13, 2020, out in the cold and the rain all day, educating people about what Bill Gates had said a decade earlier and about Event 201. Deborah Horn of Cairo 7 in Seattle, she almost put us on the news. She was interested, to her credit. She came out and talked to us multiple times, but I'm sure the masters at the studio said, oh no, that one's not for the plebs. Oh no. It's the first time we've seen maybe a formal endorsement of this word from a position of authority, he said, but kids have been using this for a while. Responses to censorship on TikTok, one of the most popular social media platforms among Gens Alpha and Z, have a lot to do with unalived, making the jump from digital slang to offline language. But its entry into the lexicon is also the result of increasing sensitivity when broaching topics like suicide, said Nicole Holliday, acting associate professor of linguistics at the University of California, Berkeley. Funny, my friend Angelina, she went to Berkeley, and she now no longer talks to me because of exposing things just like this. Her Berkeley education landed her at the point where she thinks this has to be a coincidence every single day. Again, just take a good look, you guys. Nirvana, unalived, suicide. What do you think? What do you think? Did you know Bill and Melinda started dating the same year that Nirvana was established? And just like I told you, years before they got divorced, they were in an arranged marriage. Notice these days they have to remind you constantly that her middle name's French. She's got the same birthday as the Jesuits who gave us the calendar and the language. Came out of France. August 15th. If you missed the work earlier this year on Melinda leaving the Gates Foundation, you should go back and check that out. It goes on, that's a generational shift initiated by younger generations who grew up on TikTok and are taking new language into their classrooms and homes in an increasingly accelerated trend cycle. It's rare that viral slang survives more than a few weeks. It's likely that if your parents have heard it, a trend is over, Holiday said. But if it's made into a museum, albeit briefly, unalived is likely here to stay. And again, for the person who come here and say, well, see, I mean, they're just using the word because they're using it on TikTok. Nope. They might use the word on TikTok, but the museum chose to use it because, again, it's gematria perfect. This is what the cabal does every day. Cabal, large and in charge in every U.S. city, especially Seattle, the one that was the epicenter of the pandemic, where all the biggest profiteers in the world essentially had their headquarters there, from Jeff Bezos to Costco. The origins of unalived. The first known use of unalived predates the birth of TikTok by several years, appearing in a 2013 episode of the Disney XD series Ultimate Spider-Man. Peter Parker's arachnid hero teams up with the wisecracking Deadpool, who tells Parker that he plans to unalive their foe, Taskmaster, and his acolytes. I can't really say the K word out loud. It's a weird mental tick, Deadpool explains. Spider-Man eventually says, kill anyway. Remember, kill has the same gematria as Cobain, which is 44. Seattle also equals 44, and that's how many days it was from his birthday when he passed. Unalive was mostly relegated to obscure memes, explains Alexic, until TikTok users found a new function for it. TikTok, which officially launched in the U.S. in 2018, ballooned in popularity in early 2020. Users soon realized that videos in which they discussed death, not an uncommon topic during the COVID-19 pandemic, were being suppressed from their followers. Isn't it funny how the media is always talking about TikTok like it's TikTok doing all these things? YouTube does this, Facebook does this, and all the platforms they control, Instagram, etc. They love to pick on TikTok. It's like, talk about dishonest reporting, but what else can you expect from the mainstream? Anyway, if you want to read the rest of this article, you can. I just wanted to emphasize it's another obvious little tribute to the code of letters and numbers. Till next time, Truth Seeker.